Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever noticed how some words sound simple while others sound more powerful, professional, and precise? For example, instead of saying something is insulting, what if you used the word derogatory? Would your English sound more advanced and expressive? Absolutely. And that is exactly what we are going to explore today. Today's lesson is all about the words insulting and derogatory. Both words are connected to disrespect and offense, but they are not always used in the same way. Many English learners use insulting in almost every situation because it is common and easy. However, native speakers and advanced English users often prefer the word derogatory in formal conversations, professional writing, news reports, debates, legal discussions, and serious communication. In this lecture, we will deeply understand the meanings of both words, the differences between them, when to use them, how they change the tone of a sentence, and why replacing insulting with derogatory can instantly improve your vocabulary. We will also go through multiple explanations and examples so you can confidently use these words in real-life conversations. So let us begin. First, let us understand the word insulting. The word insulting is commonly used in everyday English. It comes from the verb insult, which means to offend, disrespect, or hurt someone with words or actions. When something is insulting, it directly makes someone feel disrespected, humiliated, or offended. For example, if someone mocks another person's appearance, accent, intelligence, culture, or work, that behavior can be called insulting. The word insulting is emotional and direct. It often describes behavior, comments, actions, gestures, or tones that hurt someone's feelings. Here are some simple examples. His comment about her accent was insulting. The way he laughed at my mistake felt insulting. Ignoring someone during a conversation can be insulting. She found the joke insulting and offensive. Calling someone lazy without knowing their situation is insulting. Notice something important here. The word insulting is usually connected to personal feelings. It focuses on how someone feels after hearing or experiencing something disrespectful. Now let us move to the word derogatory. The word derogatory is more formal, sophisticated, and specific. It is used to describe language, remarks, expressions, or statements that show disrespect, criticism, prejudice, or a negative attitude toward a person or group. Unlike insulting, which focuses on emotional hurt, derogatory focuses more on the negative nature of the language itself. For example, certain words about race, nationality, religion, gender, or appearance may be considered derogatory because they express contempt or disrespect. Derogatory language is often discussed in professional environments, news articles, academic writing, media analysis, workplace policies, and social discussions. Let us look at some examples. The article used derogatory language against immigrants. The teacher warned students not to use derogatory terms. Making derogatory remarks about someone's religion is unacceptable. The movie was criticized for containing derogatory stereotypes. Social media platforms often remove derogatory comments. Can you notice the difference now? Insulting focuses more on emotional offense. Derogatory focuses more on disrespectful or belittling language. This difference is very important. Now let us compare both words side by side. If someone says, "Your work is terrible," the sentence may sound insulting because it hurts feelings. But if someone uses offensive labels, stereotypes, or degrading expressions toward a group of people, the language may be described as derogatory. In simple words, insulting is emotional and personal, while derogatory is formal and descriptive. Another important difference is tone. The word insulting is very common in daily conversation. For example, That was insulting. Your behavior is insulting. This offer is insulting. But derogatory sounds more professional and advanced. For example, the statement was derogatory. The article contained derogatory remarks. The comedian used derogatory humor. Because of this, advanced English speakers often replace insulting with derogatory when discussing serious issues. Imagine two people speaking. Person 1 says, "His comments were insulting." Person 2 says, "His comments were derogatory and disrespectful." Which one sounds more advanced and professional? Of course, the second sentence. That is why learning words like derogatory helps improve your spoken and written English. Now let us go deeper into the emotional power of these words. The word insulting often reflects immediate emotional pain. For example, if someone refuses to shake your hand or mocks your clothes, you may personally feel insulted. Examples: I felt insulted by his tone. Her response sounded insulting. The customer considered the low salary offer insulting. In all these sentences, the focus is on feelings. However, derogatory often reflects judgment about language or attitude rather than immediate feelings. Examples: the report included derogatory descriptions. The actor apologized for making derogatory comments. The organization banned derogatory speech. Here, the focus is on the nature of the words themselves. Now let us discuss where these words are commonly used. The word insulting is extremely common in everyday situations. You may hear it in family discussions, school conversations, casual arguments, or social interactions. For example, that joke was insulting. Your attitude is insulting. It is insulting to ignore someone. The word derogatory is more common in formal English. You may hear it in news channels, legal discussions, academic lectures, social debates, human rights discussions, professional workplaces, media analysis, political speeches. For example, the politician faced criticism for using derogatory language. The company has strict rules against derogatory remarks. The newspaper apologized for publishing derogatory content. Now let us discuss another important point. Not all insulting language is derogatory. And not all derogatory language feels personally insulting to everyone. This may sound confusing at first, but let us understand carefully. If your friend says, "You are terrible at cooking," that is insulting because it may hurt your feelings. But it may not necessarily be derogatory. Now imagine someone uses a disrespectful stereotype about a nationality or religion. That becomes derogatory because it attacks a group or identity with degrading language. So derogatory language often carries social or cultural negativity. This is why the word derogatory is considered stronger and more serious in many contexts. Now let us understand grammar and sentence structure. The word insulting is often used after linking verbs like is, was, sounds, seems, felt. Examples: that comment is insulting. Her reply sounded insulting. The joke felt insulting. The word derogatory is commonly used before nouns like remarks, language, comments, terms, statements, expressions. Examples: derogatory remarks, derogatory language, derogatory comments, derogatory terms. You can also say, his comments were derogatory. The article sounded derogatory. Now let us discuss tone and professionalism. Imagine you are writing a formal email, report, article, or presentation. Which sentence sounds better? The employee made insulting comments. Or, the employee made derogatory remarks. The second one sounds more professional, polished, and formal. That is why journalists, lawyers, teachers, and professional speakers often use derogatory instead of insulting. Now let us explore the psychological impact of language. Words are powerful. They can motivate people, inspire people, hurt people, or divide people. Language shapes relationships and society. Insulting language often damages personal relationships because it attacks emotions. Derogatory language can damage both personal relationships and social harmony because it spreads disrespect, prejudice, or discrimination. For example, insulting one person may create conflict between two individuals. But derogatory speech against an entire community can create social tension and hatred. This is why many organizations create policies against derogatory language. Now let us examine some advanced examples. Example 1. The manager's sarcastic response sounded insulting to the employee. Here, the focus is emotional hurt. Example 2. The manager was fired for making derogatory comments about women. Here, the focus is discriminatory and disrespectful language. Example 3. Offering such a small reward after so much hard work feels insulting. Again, emotional offense. Example 4. The online forum removed derogatory posts targeting minorities. Here, the focus is offensive language against a group. Now let us discuss synonyms. Some synonyms of insulting include offensive, rude, disrespectful, mean, hurtful, mocking. Some synonyms of derogatory include degrading, belittling, disparaging, dehumanizing, critical, contemptuous, negative. Notice that derogatory synonyms sound more formal and serious. Now let us talk about the word insulted. When someone feels hurt or offended, we say they feel insulted. For example, she felt insulted by his behavior. He looked insulted after hearing the comment. There is no common phrase like felt derogatory, because derogatory usually describes language, not feelings. This is another important distinction. Now let us move toward practical communication. Imagine you are speaking English in professional settings. Using advanced vocabulary can make your speech sound more mature and educated. Instead of always saying, "That is insulting," you can sometimes say, "That remark is derogatory. That language is derogatory. Those comments were derogatory." This makes your English sound more natural in serious discussions. However, you should not replace insulting with derogatory in every sentence because the meanings are not identical. For example, "This salary offer is derogatory," sounds unnatural. "This salary offer is insulting," sounds correct. Why? Because insulting matches emotional offense better. Now let us look at 5 strong examples of insulting. Example 1. The customer found the waiter's rude tone insulting. Example 2. Laughing at someone's pronunciation is insulting and immature. Example 3. His constant interruptions during the meeting were insulting. Example 4. Many people considered the low payment offer insulting. Example 5. Ignoring a person's hard work can feel deeply insulting. Now 5 examples of derogatory. Example 1. The company apologized for the employee's derogatory remarks. Example 2. Using derogatory language online can lead to account suspension. Example 3. The film received criticism for its derogatory stereotypes. Example 4. Teachers should immediately stop students from using derogatory terms. Example 5. The politician denied making derogatory comments about immigrants. Now let us discuss how context changes meaning. Context is everything in English. A sentence may sound insulting in one situation but harmless in another. For example, close friends sometimes joke with each other. Outsiders may think the comments sound insulting, but the friends may not feel offended. However, derogatory language is usually considered inappropriate regardless of friendship because it carries disrespectful meaning. This is why workplaces and schools often ban derogatory speech. Now let us discuss media and social media. In modern society, Social media has made language more visible and powerful. A single insulting comment can go viral. A derogatory statement can damage reputations, careers, and organizations. Many celebrities and public figures face criticism when they use derogatory language because such language may offend communities and promote negativity. News headlines often use the word derogatory because it sounds formal and objective. For example, the actor apologized for derogatory remarks. The organization condemned derogatory speech. Notice how professional these sentences sound. Now let us talk about cultural sensitivity. Different cultures have different sensitivities. A word considered harmless in one culture may sound insulting or derogatory in another. Advanced English communication requires awareness, empathy, and careful word choice. Respectful communication builds trust. Disrespectful communication destroys trust. This is why learning words like derogatory is not only about vocabulary. It is also about understanding social awareness and communication responsibility. Now let us explore some common mistakes learners make. Mistake 1. Using derogatory for every insulting situation. Incorrect. My friend did not invite me and it felt derogatory. Correct. My friend did not invite me and it felt insulting. Mistake 2. Using insulting before formal nouns awkwardly. Less formal. Insulting remarks. More formal. Derogatory remarks. Mistake 3. Confusing offensive with derogatory. Not all offensive language is derogatory. Something may offend a person without degrading a group or identity. Now let us practice sentence transformation. Basic sentence. His comments were insulting. Advanced version. His comments were derogatory and disrespectful. Basic sentence. The joke was insulting. Advanced version. The joke contained derogatory humor. Basic sentence. People disliked the insulting language. Advanced version. People criticize the derogatory language. See how the tone becomes more professional and polished. Now let us discuss pronunciation in terms of rhythm and voice delivery for communication. The word insulting is short and emotionally direct. The word derogatory sounds more formal, analytical, and academic. Because of this, derogatory is often used in speeches, documentaries, debates, and professional discussions. Now let us imagine a workplace scenario. An employee makes fun of another employee's accent. A coworker may say, "That was insulting," but an HR manager may say, "Those remarks were derogatory and inappropriate." Both are correct, but the tone and purpose are different. Now let us discuss emotional intelligence in language. People with strong communication skills know how to disagree without becoming insulting or derogatory. Instead of attacking people, effective communicators criticize ideas respectfully. For example, instead of saying, "Your idea is stupid," a respectful person may say, "I disagree with this approach because it may not solve the problem effectively." This difference matters greatly in professional life. Language reflects personality, maturity, and emotional control. Now let us move toward advanced understanding. Derogatory language often includes prejudice. For example, racist language, sexist language, religious mockery, negative stereotypes. These are often called derogatory because they reduce respect and dignity. Meanwhile, insulting language may simply involve personal disrespect without prejudice. For example, "You are lazy." This is insulting, but it may not necessarily be derogatory. Now let us compare sentence pairs carefully. Sentence 1. He made an insulting joke about me. Sentence 2. He made a derogatory joke about immigrants. The first attacks an individual emotionally. The second attacks a group disrespectfully. This distinction is extremely important in modern English communication. Now let us discuss professional writing. If you are writing essays, reports, articles, or opinion pieces. Replacing simple vocabulary with advanced vocabulary improves quality. Instead of repeatedly using insulting, you can sometimes use derogatory, disparaging, belittling, contemptuous, degrading. This variety makes your English richer and more expressive. Now let us imagine a news report. A casual speaker may say, "The celebrity said something insulting." A journalist may write, "The celebrity faced backlash for derogatory remarks." Which one sounds more professional? Clearly the second sentence. This is why advanced vocabulary matters. Now let us explore emotional reactions. When people hear insulting words, they often feel hurt, angry, embarrassed, or humiliated. When people hear derogatory language, they may feel disrespected, marginalized, stereotyped, or attacked socially. This is why derogatory speech is often taken more seriously in public discussions. Now let us do a quick comparison summary. Insulting, common, emotional, personal, everyday English, focused on feelings. Derogatory, formal, serious, descriptive, professional English, focused on disrespectful language. Both words involve negativity, but derogatory sounds more advanced and context-specific. Now let us go through 5 additional examples for deeper understanding. Insulting examples. Example 1. The teacher considered the student's behavior insulting. Example 2. His sarcastic smile felt insulting. Example 3. Rejecting someone without listening can appear insulting. Example 4. The audience found the comedian's joke insulting. Example 5. Her dismissive attitude toward the staff was insulting. Derogatory examples. Example 1. The website removed derogatory comments immediately. Example 2. The article was accused of using derogatory language against foreigners. Example 3. Schools should educate students about the harm of derogatory speech. Example 4. The company introduced policies against derogatory behavior. Example 5. Public figures must avoid derogatory statements on social media. Now let us discuss how to remember the difference easily. Think of insulting as emotional hurt. Think of derogatory as degrading language. This simple memory trick can help you instantly choose the correct word. Now let us imagine real-life conversations. Conversation 1. That comment was insulting. This sounds natural in daily speech. Conversation 2. The speaker used derogatory language. This sounds formal and professional. So the choice depends on context, tone, and audience. Now let us discuss vocabulary growth. One of the fastest ways to sound fluent in English is replacing very common words with more precise alternatives. Instead of always saying bad, mean, rude, insulting, you can sometimes say derogatory, disrespectful, disparaging, offensive, contemptuous. This instantly makes your English stronger. But remember something important. Advanced English is not about using difficult words everywhere. It is about using the right word in the right situation. That is true fluency. Now let us finish today's lecture with a final reflection. Language is powerful. Words can encourage people or destroy confidence. They can unite communities or create division. Understanding the difference between insulting and derogatory helps you communicate more clearly, professionally, and responsibly. Use insulting when talking about emotional offense or personal disrespect. Use derogatory when talking about degrading, belittling, or prejudiced language, especially in formal situations. And whenever possible, choose respectful communication because respectful language reflects intelligence, maturity, and empathy. Thank you so much for watching and learning with me today. If you enjoyed this lesson and learned something new, keep practicing these words in your daily conversations and writing. The more you use advanced vocabulary correctly, the more confident and fluent your English will become. See you in the next lecture with another powerful English vocabulary lesson.